Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something that's truly changing the game for how we work. We're talking about generative AI and how it's being woven into the very tools you probably use every single day, turning those tedious, routine tasks into moments of, honestly, incredible efficiency.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You're hunting for a piece of information you know exists somewhere in your files. Let's say you need the official definition for a project, something like Project Horizon. You type it in the search bar, and you're just hit with a tidal wave of totally unrelated results. It's so frustrating.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The problem isn't just about your 5 or 10 wasted minutes. It's about that ripple effect. You get stuck, so you interrupt a coworker, and suddenly their productivity takes a hit too. One tiny, frustrating search can spiral into a team-wide time sink.
But what if the fix for all these little daily frustrations wasn't some brand new futuristic app you have to learn? What if it was already built right into the software you open every morning? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and see how this all works. The engine behind this huge shift is, of course, generative AI. And in this case, Google has integrated its AI model, Gemini, directly into the entire Google Workspace.
And just as a quick refresher, when we say Google Workspace, we're talking about that core suite of tools so many of us practically live in. Gmail for our emails, Docs for writing, Sheets for our data, you get the picture. The big idea here is that Gemini is now basically a collaborator sitting right there beside you in all of them. But here's the thing. Getting the most out of this new assistant, it's not magic. It's actually a skill. And that skill really all begins with mastering the prompt, which is just the instruction you give to the AI. One of the absolute most powerful techniques you can learn is called role prompting. It's a simple idea with huge results. Instead of just asking a basic question, you start by telling the AI who it should be. It sounds small, but that little shift can totally transform the quality of the response you get. Just look at this example. If you tell the AI you are a customer service agent, you're going to get a helpful, patient, super clear explanation. But if you tell that same AI you are a marketing copywriter, you're going to get persuasive, exciting, engaging copy. Same technology, but by giving it a specific role, you unlock a completely different and way more useful outcome. You can also level up your prompts by giving the AI some examples. So, a zero-shot prompt is just your basic question, no examples needed. A one-shot prompt gives it just one example to steer it in the right direction. And a few-shot prompt, well, that's where you provide several examples, which helps you get a much more fine-tuned and accurate result.
Okay, so that's the theory. Now let's get to the fun stuff and see how this all actually works in practice. We're going to take a quick tour of what Gemini can do inside some of the most popular workspace apps. Let's start right at the heart of where most of our work lives, in Drive and Docs.
So, remember that Project Horizon problem from the beginning? Boom, solved. You can just ask Gemini to find that specific definition across every single file you own. But it goes way beyond that. You can get it to summarize the goals of an entire project, rephrase a stuffy sentence to be more casual with just one click, or even have it brainstorm creative taglines for your next campaign.
All right, next up, the app that probably takes up a huge chunk of your workday, Gmail.
This is all about automating those tedious communication tasks. Just imagine, instead of spending 20 minutes crafting the perfect email, you just give Gemini the key details of a new company benefit, and poof, it drafts a professional, clear, company-wide announcement for you. Now, for an app that, let's be honest, can be a source of incredible power or incredible pain, depending on how you feel about formulas, Google Sheets. This is, for me, one of the most powerful features. You no longer need to be a spreadsheet wizard. You can now just describe what you want to do in plain, simple English, and Gemini will generate the complex formula for you. This is a massive game changer, making data analysis so much more accessible to everyone. And finally, let's look at how we present our ideas and work together in real time with slides and Meet. Need a specific image for a presentation? Forget scrolling through stock photo sites. Just describe what you want, and Gemini will create it. When you're in a meeting, you can get live transcriptions and even translations. And maybe best of all, Gemini can automatically summarize the key takeaways and list out the action items. No one ever has to ask, so who's doing what? Ever again. But how do all these cool features actually come together in the real world? To see the impact, let's take a look at the story of a fantastic nonprofit called Understood.org. So, Understood.org has this incredibly important mission
to shape the world for difference. They provide expert resources to literally millions of people, helping them thrive at school, at work, and just in life in general.
Their work is completely driven by insights, which means their teams are constantly digging through mountains of data, research, and user interviews. The challenge is, how do you turn all of that information into useful content and personalized outreach, and do it efficiently?
And the result? Get this. By using Gemini to help them spot trends in their research and build donor profiles, their research team now saves around 10 hours on every single project. That's not just a small improvement, that's a massive leap in productivity.
And that efficiency just snowballs. The partnerships team takes that research and uses Gemini to help them draft personalized messages, and it's saving them about 2 hours every single day.
You know, the story of Understood.org really points to something much bigger than just saving time. It's about fundamentally changing how we work.
I love this quote from their co-president, Nathan Friedman. He says the goal is to help people work authentically, in ways that play to their unique, individual strengths. In other words, AI becomes this tool that reduces the mental burden of tedious tasks and lets people focus on what they are truly best at.
And that really brings us to the final question, the one for you. Just think about it for a second. If you had an extra 2 hours of focused, creative time every day, free from all those little frustrating tasks, what new ideas could you bring to life? What bigger problems could you solve? That's the potential that we can all start unlocking right now.